I think it is. Okay, we're at some little restaurant. Babe, do you remember what this place is called? The Toronto Queen Street restaurant, whatever. I got a steak. And it's really good, like peppercorny kind of sauce thing. Then we got this, babe, what is that? Italian something?
It's eggplant rolls, veggies.
Eggplant rolls with veggies, got it. And what'd you get?
Veal with bocconcini inside. And a potato ball.
Potato ball.
That's veggies.
Yeah, potato ball actually.
And
bread.
No white bread. What?
No, what are you talking about?
None of that.
Yeah, none of that. And where are we anyway? You guys can see the same tower just up there, poking out. So yeah, this is Queen Street West. It's kind of like the little hipster-ish Brooklyn type part of downtown. They got like all the little fancy restaurants and the vintage stores and the guys with the hipster beards. This is downtown Toronto. There's the BMO Tower. It's like probably one of the biggest buildings. There's actually the Trump Tower. I don't know if you guys can see the actual antenna. And my building's over there somewhere. And yeah, it's kind of cool. If you actually get like into the center of, you know, downtown Toronto, it kind of feels like New York. But the thing is, New York, the whole city is like massive. It would take you days to experience the whole thing. And Toronto's pretty cool, but then you can walk through the whole thing in like 20, 30 minutes.
No, Toronto?
The main downtown area, like the core.
Yeah. Okay.
Why am I arguing so much about this on my vlog? We're done talking. Bye. This is welcome to Toronto.
Okay, babe, what are we doing?
Jim. It's shoulder day. What time is it? Shit, it's late. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock, so it's a late one. Welcome. Hey guys, are you interested? Can I offer you some spices? In case you're interested, we've got garlic powder, peanut butter, pre-workout. I know. So the groceries, the selection. Actually, we do have a selection because we got 2 flavors at least. So icy blue raz it is. Picked it up at GNC because it was on sale. Again, I've talked about how I don't normally buy pre-workouts. And I usually just stick with caffeine pills, and that's true. But I mean, there are things, you know, additional things they have to offer, like beta-alanine and all this crazy crap, which probably does something.
Never tried this one, right?
I mean, I've had the C4 before. I never had like.
You have blue raz?
I haven't. I inhaled it. The blue. What's it called? Icy blue raspberry.
It smells like cotton candy.
It's 6.
It actually smells like cotton. What? It smells like Trick cereal.
Thank God, they actually come with a plastic one. I can't like this piece of crap. You mean I'm not whatever? It's fine. The glutamine. I mean, it's okay. It didn't come with a plastic like scooper thing, so I had to like use a spoon for like the first week until I got cream.
All the stress, all the struggle.
What is this?
I think it's the thing that keeps it dry.
Why is it so tiny?
It's pre-workout, okay? It's not protein.
I'll show you. You want to see a real man's? Real man's? Check that bitch out.
That's smaller.
That's bigger.
It's way smaller.
What are you talking about? I love how this is going to be like 20 minutes of my, like 20% of my vlog, just talking about like comparing sizes.
Same size.
I'm saying like the length of the thing.
Oh.
Do you even?
Who cares?
I care. I have to reach in there, and it was too long. I actually have to cut it off. You know, because sometimes it's too big, so you have to take off an inch or two. Hey guys, no big deal. Just drinking my mug.
Thumbnail.
Come on. That's a little too narcissistic. I gotta be a little bit more modest.
Can I try it at least, or?
No, there's none left. Babe, you're doing it all wrong. It's here. And make sure to squish in the chin. I got it.
Okay, Mr. 5% body fat.
It's another struggle.
4% actually.
Guys, check it out.
Oh wow, is that? No. just.
I can't drink all this. It's really good, but like my lips are already tingling.
That's just because I think there's like magic in it.
He's all about science, like you guys know.
You feel furious.
Babe, what's that weight?
It's a man's weight.
Alright guys, this is a late night shoulder workout I decided to throw in. We're going to be trying to hit the deltoids from every angle. Some of you may know that the deltoid is technically made up of 3 different subcategories, or for lack of a better word. We got the anterior deltoid or the front deltoid, which I will be doing I think about 2 exercises for. The lateral deltoid, which really gives you that kind of width or that V taper. And then we got the rear deltoids or posterior deltoids. So make sure you hit your deltoids from every angle and make sure you warm up both rotational movements and stretching.
We're going to be going for at least 8 reps, but on the first one I'm going to go for max. So if I get 10, great. If I get 12, great. If I get 15, then that's too little weight. But the point is 8 to 6 minimum. I want to finish off my 4th set, struggling to break that 7-8 barrier. If I go too high, then it was too little weight. If I go too low, then it was too much weight.
Okay guys, yeah, so like I mentioned, I'm a big advocate for going to or near failure on every set, regardless of whether you're cutting, bulking, whatever. The whole point is intensity. So in this case, I think I got about 10 reps on this first set, which is not bad. I've hit as high as 13, 14 in the off season, so luckily the strength isn't dropping too much. And then I did about, I believe it was 8 in the last set. The 4th set, I got 6. So that's okay. It's a little low, but I mean, you're expected on carb depletion. Point is, I didn't go under 6, but I didn't, do easily 4 sets of 10, in which case it's too little weight.
This belt used to be like super like, ugh. And then eventually, as my weights start to come down, during the contest prep, and my waist start to shrink, I had to make my own holes using a screwdriver, which I had to heat up on the oven. And even now, that's like, so that's what happens when you go to contest prep. I went from like here all the way to like, I don't even know, I should have gone to smaller side. So in this one, I'm gonna emphasize, number 1, my pinky's at the very edge, and we're gonna be trying to get this corner elbow up to the sky. So it's like, so instead of just like that, where the dumbbell's like that, we're gonna be keeping the dumbbell like that.
Your pinky's at the back of the dumbbell?
Yeah, because the thing is,
oh, I never did that.
This is actually something I learned from Steve Cook. It was a video, because lots of guys just throw it up like this, or like that, and because the dumbbell's kind of like that, they're working out their front deltoids a little bit. Also because they're not doing it laterally, they're doing it kind of like here on the diagonal. But if you keep it like, number 1, you have to retract your scapula, and then pinky's at the edge, and you kind of try to like, you kind of try to bring them up like that to the sky, and that's going to activate your whole lateral deltoid, especially pretty much the migration.
One more thing I want to throw in is that even though you're going out with your arms at the sides, actually eventually you're going to bring your arms in, and this is going to make things a little bit easier. I only do this on the last couple reps. This is kind of called like the ballerina effect. Pretty much, as a ballerina spins, she moves her hands in and she moves faster, and then she takes her hands out and she moves slower. It's like grade 11 physics. It's all about centripetal motion or something like that, but it is something that I like to apply in the final few reps. It's almost like not a cheat rep, but it's kind of like, how you can get a spot on a bench press or a squat or whatever. Well, this is in a sense a way that you can spot yourself on a lateral deltoid exercise by making it a little bit easier. Obviously, you're still hitting the lateral head fairly well, but that gives you the ability to go to failure and essentially beyond by hitting a couple extra reps. So yeah, like I said, this is a lateral dumbbell raise, working out the lateral head, and see now I've brought them in and I'm able to pump out a couple more reps, and oh man, the vascularity is coming in. This is a really difficult but fantastic exercise. And the previous one, the military press, overhead press, that was oh man, this is looking crazy. The military press was actually a front deltoid exercise. So we did front, lateral, and now we are doing another front deltoid exercise. This is the anterior barbell raise. This one I like a lot. There's two ways of doing it. So you can do it first with your hands kind of, facing the camera like so, and then you can bring them in and kind of point your hands a little bit diagonally. I think I should probably demonstrate that. Yeah, so that's option number 1, and that's option number 2. So I'll probably do, 6 to 7 reps, and then of the first option, and then when it gets tiring, I will switch it up a little bit to really hit that anterior deltoid, which I am displaying right now. That's all bodybuilding is, guys. You're pretty much doing the same exercise for the same muscle group, but with slight minor alterations, deviations, changing the angle, using a dumbbell, using cables, whatever. It's pretty much the same movement, just done in slightly different ways. And guys, I really want to emphasize, like 40 pounds is not a lot. In fact, I think the empty barbell weighs like 45 pounds, like the big 7-foot one. So the fact that I'm doing less than empty barbell weight goes to show that, especially for these exercises where like the isolations, where you're going for hypertrophy, unlike the overhead military press, which I did in the beginning, it's not necessarily all about the weight. It's more so about the pump, getting a good contraction, even holding it for a second, like I'm, doing like at the top of my right here, because that is what's going to get that crazy, speaking of crazy, that crazy hypertrophy, that's going to give you that crazy mind-muscle connection. Now we are doing, this is an interesting one. Sometimes I throw in, every other deltoid workout. So it's an alternating behind the neck and another, I guess, overhead or military, whatever you want to call it, press. This one I'm only doing 90 pounds. The overhead press is actually pretty simple, even though I did do it early in the exercise. I'm not as fatigued as you may expect, but this behind the neck press, considering I go all the way down until the barbell touches your traps, that is difficult, but that's what's going to give you the full range of motion. That is what's going to really hit deltoids. I actually use this exercise, interestingly, both to hit anterior and lateral deltoids. It kind of does a bit of both. Next up, we are doing one exercise for rear deltoids. This is the pec deck or the pec fly, but you're sitting opposite ways. This one's interesting. So you grab the bars or whatever you want to call it. But if you want to isolate your rear deltoids and take your back, for example, your rhomboids out of the equation, something you have to remember is if you want them out, muscles are weakest at their fully extended or fully contracted. See, this is fully extended, and the opposite is fully contracted. So your rhomboids, your back is fully out or fully in. That is when it's weakest. So if your rhomboids, your back is fully at its weakest, that means the only muscle group that's left to do the work is your rear deltoids. This is actually something I learned from Ben Pekulski video. So in this case, my preference is I like to sit completely and, kind of dig my shoulder blades, extend the scapula in a sense. And at this point, your rhomboids are fully extended and they are at their weakest. So because of that, they're not going to be able to chip in, they're not going to be able to help out, and the only muscle group that's going to be able to do any work is your rear deltoids, which coincidentally is what you are trying to isolate in this exercise. That's the whole point of these exercises, guys. They're isolation exercises. We're trying to, specifically target one muscle group, unlike compound exercises where we're trying to hit as many muscle groups as possible. They're apples and oranges, guys. They're different, but they're both extremely important, and you shouldn't neglect either one. Oh, by the way, have you heard this song? This is so weird. Every time it comes on, it sounds like a drunk guy playing the flute or something.